Hello, Free Range Universe. Welcome to week one of a new cycle. We're going to call it PVC Dumbbells and Barbells, oh my. Aptly named because we're going to use all three tools there if you have access to them. So, it's very similar to what we were doing before, slight tweaks, a little bit of additional actual strength to go along with this. So the idea is to go as far through this as you reasonably can based on equipment that you have and energy as you work your way through. But the beginning is going to be very focused on mobility and technique, similar to last time where we're trying to own ranges of motion and positions without the aid of weight. Then we're going to get into some dumbbell work to really capitalize on some single arm or single leg stuff depending on the day. And then, as usual, getting into the barbell work at the bottom. So, first part here, 5, 4, 3, 2, actually, let me just say, start with a 10-minute warm-up. I'll have a link to it in the comments. Use this week's 10-minute warm-up, but get your body warm. So much more receptive to technique and just getting the most out of the workout. So I've wrote it on my notebook a zillion times, but if you own the warm-up, you'll own the workout. So take the time to get warm first. So 10 minutes. Then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to do some kneeling hops. So from a kneeling position, you're going to hop up onto your feet. And then you're going to go through these 6 PVC moves. You're going to do Snatch Shrugs, hang power snatch, overhead squat, snatch press to an overhead squat, Snatch Balance, and a Sott press. I'm going to demo all of these, but basically you're going to do 5 through of everything, then 4 through of everything, 3, 2, and 1. It's a lot of reps. By the time you're done, you should be pretty well set to hit 35 good quality PVC snatches. Just carrying over from last time, I think it sounded like there was a lot of gold happening there if you take the time. So 35 PVC full squat snatch. Then you're going to get out your trusty dumbbell. You may want to be on the lighter side, but this is a strength element where you can revisit it frequently. We may do it each week for the entire duration with the idea of either adding reps or adding weight as you go. But we're going to do a dumbbell snatch plus overhead squat with the rep scheme of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 also. So it'll be 5 on your right, 5 on your left, and then you'll do 10 hollow rocks. Then 4 on your right, 4 on your left, 10 hollow rocks all the way through. Last off, grab a barbell. It can be on the lighter side to begin with. We'll build on this, but we're going to do a 2-position power snatch. I'll demo it here in a minute, plus overhead squat each time. So you'll notice a lot of time spent in an overhead squat. It's going to be unweighted, it's going to be unilaterally weighted, and then it's going to be the classic barbell. So once again, just trying to build on the elements as you go. Let's see. Without further ado, let's demo the moves. Okay, so the kneeling hops, we've done them before, but just as a quick review, you're going to be on the ground in a kneeling position. You can have the balls of your feet touching or the tops of your feet. That's going to be completely up to you, but we want to explode up and land in the bottom of a squat. If you're not comfortable with that, you can just do some standing tuck jumps. I'll just demo that first. We're going to start by reaching up over your head so you have full extension, abs are nice and tight. You're going to swing your arms back so that the backswing gets you maybe parallel to the floor, and then your torso is much like a kettlebell swing, and then you're going to swing back up as you jump. And you're just going to tuck your knees. Just trying to get the whole body working in this explosive manner. If you feel like you're up to it, we're going to do the kneeling hops. Like I said, you get down on your knees, can be the tops of your feet, can be the balls of your feet, whatever feels good. But once again, start by getting everything extended, then you're going to tuck back with the swing, and then you're going to try and jump up. And pop to your feet. And up to your feet. So you would do 5 of those, and then you'll get into this PVC Complex. So the first one here is going to be a Snatch Shrug. I'm going to demo 2 reps of each of these, but like I said, follow the rep scheme all the way through. So the first round you would do 5 reps of each of them. So the Snatch Shrugs are going to be with your feet underneath your hips. You're going to get set down at your shins, and all we're going to do, nice controlled up past your knees, scoop, stand and shrug. Get set at the shins, control it past the knees, scoop and shrug. Next one is we're gonna go for a hang power snatch. So the feet will start narrow. You're gonna get set just above the knees. We'll scoop, pop, and catch it in a nice, strong, stable power snatch position. You'll notice my feet start narrow and then they jump out and land in the squat stance. So I'll show you from the front. So we'll get set right at the knees and stand. After that, we can just keep our feet in that catch position, so exactly where you would catch for a power snatch. And we are going to overhead squat. Just basic overhead squat, getting the hips comfortable with that bottom position. And we're going to lower it to your shoulders. Once again, keeping your feet in the same spot. Now we're going to go for a snatch press. So we're in the snatch grip. We're going to press, but instead of pressing up, we're going to press ourselves down into an overhead squat. So get your belly nice and tight, everything's engaged, and you're going to press to the deepest squat that you can. Stand back up. Ideally, you're just pressing yourself down. The bar is not really raising, you're just lowering your center of gravity. Everything's tight. And press. Next up is a more dynamic, kind of explosive move, or speed move rather. So our feet are going to be underneath our hips, and we're going to, as quickly as we can, drop now into that overhead squat position. So it helps to get everything kind of pre-tensed. Maybe you're just slightly up on the balls of your feet. We're going to drop down and then stand back up. When you land, really evaluate how and where you're landing, and if you want, video is a good demonstration, so I'll show you maybe a good and then maybe less mature variation of this. So everything's tight. Trying to get down quick and stable. If you notice that when you get down to the bottom, it kind of looks like this and everything kind of folds over, consider catching it maybe a little bit taller. Really try and stay tight, and then just finish a good overhead squat. Final move is a Sott press. You're going to do this at the bottom of the overhead squat. So after that last snatch balance, we're down here, and we're just going to lower the bar to our shoulders and press it back up. The idea is to try to stay nice and tight through the hips, extend it through the trunk, and be able to press through the shoulders. So all 6 of those moves, you'll do 5 reps of, then you'll start back over and go for the kneeling hops for 4, go through all the PVC, 3, 2, and 1. It's a lot of repetitions. Take maybe a minute, minute and a half break after each set so that you can fully recover. Then, by then, you should have a lot of reps under your belt. We're going to go for some PVC snatching. So, full variation here. Feet start underneath the hips. Bars right at mid-shin. Everything is tight. We're going to come up past the knees, scoop, pop. Try and drop yourself right underneath that bar. We talked about it last week and the week before, but it helps sometimes to have like a little landmark. So if I have a line in the mat going right through my feet, I should start and end here because I'm really just going up and dropping straight down. I don't want to jump forward or back. So I can use this as like a second set of eyes. So I'll get set. And still landed. But I could feel I had to pull back on some of the intensity. So maybe you try and nail some consistent repetitions there, and once you find you've got the consistency down, then inject some of the speed and power back into the move. And it's just a dance back and forth there because we want the best of both worlds. We want it accurate, but we also want it explosive and fast. So 35 of these PVC snatches broken up into small chunks. Then you're gonna grab your dumbbell. I'll let you decide if you want to take these from a floor or from the hang position, because the real take home is what happens after we get it up overhead. But you're going to grab a dumbbell, and the rep scheme here, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on each hand. You're going to snatch it, power snatch, and then once everything is locked out up overhead, you're going to try and get nice and tight and overhead squat it. Show you another one from the front. You'll notice there that each rep is its own distinct, kind of snappy repetition. So I'm catching a power snatch, then I can stand up. Everything gets nice and tight, and I go for the overhead squat. I have a slight bit of rotation in order to get down to the bottom. Go ahead and embrace that for now if you need it, but over time, the idea is to stay pretty square with your shoulders as you go down through the full overhead squat. If you find that you can't get all the way down to the bottom, just do whatever range of motion feels comfortable there. But every time, you'll get a snatch, stand up, overhead squat. You'll do 5 on your right, 5 on your left, and then 10 hollow rocks down on the ground. And you'll do those 10 hollow rocks after each set. Last off, the good old barbell. So starting relatively light here, we're going to do a 2-position power snatch plus overhead squat. So all that's going to look like here is we're going to do a snatch from a hang and then a snatch from the floor with an overhead squat after each one. So go ahead and pick your bar up, stand nice and tall, everything's tight. You'll get set right at the knees. Catch it, but don't stand all the way up. And then I want you to overhead squat with exactly the foot position that you landed there. Then we'll reset our feet underneath the hips, bring the bar down to your shins, power snatch, overhead squat. It's a great drill for staying disciplined on your feet so that where you land is exactly where you're comfortable overhead squatting. Each round, if you find you're either too narrow or too wide, make the adjustments there so that where you hit is exactly where you want to be able to squat. It lends itself well to moving back into the full squat variation. A lot of pieces. I hope you enjoy.